to talk to Israeli soldiers and expose some of their genocidal rhetoric in that way. Our mainstream media does not show interviews like that.
I'm Palestinian. That just starts everything. That ignites literally everything. That is a threat.
Israeli soldiers who kill people like you on a daily basis in Gaza and the West Bank. What's the threat level to you now?
You know, frozen yogurt attacks.
Frozen yogurt attacks. They have made it very clear why they're buying TikTok. And if we had any doubt, Benjamin Netanyahu said it out loud.
I've been censored plenty of times, not only on Instagram and YouTube, but also TikTok. They've taken down my account completely.
Why were the police at your door at 3 a.m.?
Oh, they were looking for like Hamas weapons or something.
At your house?
Oh, yeah.
I'm Mehdi Hassan.
I'm Hamzah Saada.
And we're not kidding. Zeteo's flagship podcast. It's a live taping here in Sundance. Make some noise, folks. Always fun to be doing a live taping of the show. Hamzah, it's so good to have you here with me here today. Before we get going into this, I just got to ask the crowd here, how many of you are on TikTok? Raise your hands. All right, few people. It's a very old audience, clearly. Those of you who are on TikTok, make some noise if you have more than 1,000 followers. If you have more than 100,000 followers. I feel you're just cheering for no reason. Who here can guess how many followers Hamzah has on TikTok? He's a social media phenomenon. 2 million. Higher.
10 million.
Lower.
Oh, yeah.
You ruined it.
This is where I walk off. I'm walking off.
Guy in the hat just ruined it. Ruined my moment there.
100 million.
7 million followers on TikTok. Hamzah is a phenomenon, an activist, a social media influencer, a TikTok host, does lots of interesting stuff. But I just want to jump straight into it, Hamzah.
Yes, of course.
Jump straight into it and say, you had this following, you were doing gaming. Before that, you were doing magic and music, as you do. And then October 7th comes along. And you do this pivot online, quite a bold pivot, where you start doing videos. I think we've got a clip. Let's just jump into it. You start doing videos like this.
Where are you from?
I'm from Israel.
Are you a IDF soldier?
Yes, I am.
Didn't the IDF, they bombed Gaza and they killed hundreds of children?
I don't know about it, okay? I just know that we bombed them because they bombed us, okay? And
What about before that? Why did they bomb you guys?
I don't know why, okay? Maybe something like a lot of years ago, but...
You don't know the information?
I wish IDF kill more children. And I wish the IDF will find you and kill you.
Why?
It's only Israel, no Palestine. I will f you in your motherfucker.
Wait, does he kill innocent Palestinians?
I kill every Palestinian see. Every Palestinian see, I just...
So that video, I think, was taped about a week after October the 7th.
It was taped, I'll tell you about that. It was taped like literally a day or two afterwards, but I held on to that video for a few days.
How? Why? What made you go, this is what I'm going to do as a Palestinian American on social media 48 hours after October the 7th?
Yeah, well, I had a platform before October 7th with millions of people across social media, and I decided to use that platform for good because, you know, staying quiet on something as disgusting as a genocide is I think, you know, inappropriate. You can't do that, especially being Palestinian. But I think regardless of that fact, just being a human is why I'm speaking about it. But yeah, I mean, I had a platform. I was making videos before where I would speak to random people one-on-one, you know, usually my supporters. I'd make jokes. And I decided to implement that into my content to support Palestine. So instead of speaking to like a supporter of mine or a random person, I switched it to...
You switched it to the Israeli military.
The Israeli... That's the best thing I could think of.
Like with like an Elon Levy, you went straight for the military.
I did. I had to start strong.
How do you find these people?
So there's a website you can go on called Omegle. Omegle, it's you can meet anywhere or anyone you know, across the world.
Is it a dating website? What is it?
Not a dating website. It's just like a chatting website. You can just meet anyone. Yeah, yeah. And
so
then
you search IDF. Like,
so you can search by country.
Okay.
I select Israel. It pops up. And, you know, people start popping up, and it's people in their checkpoints, you know, Israeli soldiers. You have children in classrooms with their teachers there, people with their parents, you know.
What did you say? What was your pitch?
I'm Palestinian, and that just starts everything. That ignites literally everything. That is a threat.
You're a Palestinian sitting in the United States.
Yes.
They're sitting at a checkpoint.
Or
in their
wherever,
home,
yeah.
whatever it is.
Exactly, yeah.
And they're happy to talk to you.
I mean,
made a lot of these videos.
I mean,
They have
now,
millions of views.
now they are. Now they're excited to be on video because
They know you.
The whole population might. I don't know, but it might not be a good thing.
I mean,
you
you've got almost as many TikTok followers as there are people in Israel.
Liking this video? Then don't just watch, hit like, share and subscribe. And tap the bell so you never miss a video or live show. But if you want early access to exclusive content, then you have to head to Zeteo.com and subscribe now. You'll be supporting fearless, independent journalism.
But I want to dig a little deeper.
Yes.
There's this trauma, there's this shock, what's happened on October the 7th.
Yeah.
The reaction to October the 7th is immediate, right? On that
Yeah.
day itself, Israel starts bombing. Within days, there are thousands of people. There was more people killed in Gaza within days of October 7th than were killed on October the 7th.
Yeah.
So when people say, oh, how could you say it was a genocide? It was a genocide from the beginning.
Yes.
But what makes you think this is my role? I'm the guy who used to do magic. I'm the
Yeah.
guy who used to do music. I'm the
Yeah.
guy who used to do gaming.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go on TikTok and use my platform, social media platforms which are being censored, shut down.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that to talk to Israeli soldiers and expose some of their
Yeah.
genocidal rhetoric in that way.
Yeah, I think my mother has always taught me about samud, about the Palestinian idea of steadfastness and perseverance, and I've been this way since I was a kid. But I couldn't speak out about it immediately. I needed to build a following in order to do so, to kind of combat the Zionist narrative and to kind of beat the algorithm. So the goal was always to speak about Palestine.
Your mother happy with this?
So that's
I feel like my mother would beat me with a sandal if I did this.
She's happy with it now, but in the
Okay.
beginning, I had to hold it from her. I showed her like after I got millions of views. I'm like, oh, by the way, I'm doing this thing, and she was like, take it down. Too late. It's on, Al Mehdi, and it's on all of these news channels.
Take
so I
it
can't really do
down,
anything
spoken
about
like a true
Yeah.
mother. My mom
Yeah.
still tells me to become an accountant.
it. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Not a lawyer.
Or she says stuff like, don't talk about Trump. I was like, that's literally my job. But that's
Yeah.
Muslim mothers.
Yeah.
So has there
Yeah.
been a backlash from that? Obvious question
Yes.
is, what's the threat level to you now? You're
Yeah.
prominent. People in
Yeah.
Israel know you. Israeli
Yeah.
soldiers who kill people like you on a daily basis
Yeah.
in Gaza and the West Bank.
Yeah.
What's the threat level for you in the US? What's the
Yeah,
backlash?
yeah. It's crazy. I mean, it started off with obviously death threats via messages and emails, and I'm sure you get the same. And then it turned into, which I'm sure you also get, people in person kind of agitating you and kind of trying to be an aggressor, And a funny story of once actually I was in Beverly Hills. It was past midnight. I was with a group of friends. I went to a frozen yogurt shop. And there were like this, a group of 10, 15 girls outside eating frozen yogurt, chatting about, and they all just started going crazy when I walked by, freaking out. I was like, oh, wow, I have supporters here in Beverly Hills. I thought it was a beautiful moment, and then I walk by, they're so excited. I'm like, oh, free Palestine, just to confirm, free Palestine. And then they're like, I'm Israel Chai. I'm like, oh, God, this is not, I'm not in the safe zone right now. And then, they started following me into the frozen yogurt shop. They started saying some things behind me, calling me names and things like that. But I fight them with kindness. I don't respond. But that didn't stop them from going in, refilling their cups of frozen yogurt that they had already eaten, plain yogurt one by one. I was like, what the hell's going on? One by one, they fill it up. They go back out. They line it up on the ledge. I'm looking out. Their hands are deep into it. They're ready to throw it at me.
Really?
On my way out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So there's a lot of that that happens. Frozen yogurt attacks.
Frozen yogurt attacks. That is a new one in the doxing and harassment world.
It's crazy. And obviously, just like people at the gym or at the mall. I say obviously. That's kind of sad, right?
I feel that you were just humble bragging about going to the gym, to be honest. But so you get
Yes.
recognized and people don't like you at these places.
What about you? I'm sure you've experienced things like that, yeah?
I'll be honest, I've had worse than frozen yogurt aimed in my direction.
No,
But
I'm
yeah,
sure.
look, I do this for a living, and I know what comes with the territory, but it has gotten much, much worse, obviously, in the last couple of years. You take the Trumpers, and you take the kind of the Israel supporters, and then I also have MBS supporters and Modi supporters, and there's many countries that don't like me. My wife wonders where we can go on vacation every year. But I do it for a living. And why I'm interested is, do you consider this now your living? Do you consider this what you do? Like, I don't want to use influencer as a pejorative, but it is often used, especially by people like me who are journalists, as a pejorative.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, how do you define yourself? When you see those videos, what do you think you're doing there?
Well, first and foremost, activism, and spreading awareness of what's going on back home. Thank you. And yeah, I mean, I'm only 22, so oh wow.
Yet another humble brag. I think it's fair to say I'm only
my life
22.
hasn't started yet.
You could have just said I'm 22. You had to say I'm only 22. We
Yeah.
clocked it. That's what I do for a living. I clocked it.
Yeah, you did. You did.
But you are doing activism.
Yeah. So I'm also in school. I'm still in school. I'm finishing up because I'm Arab at the end of the day.
What do the other students think of what you do? Like the other students are like, we have 7,000 followers on TikTok and you have 7 million.
No, I'm online. I'm not doing that in person anymore. Yeah, I mean, frozen yogurt attacks will turn into like pencil cases getting thrown at me. So
on that note, let's play one more video. I think we've got a second clip just to give a real sense of some of the people you've spoken to. Let's play the second clip of you talking to an Israeli soldier, I think in the summer of last year.
Are you in the IDF?
Yes.
Do you plan on kids in the future, Palestinian kids?
I want to Gaza. I don't care about the kids. I don't care about the civilians. I don't care about them. I want to bomb Gaza. I want to make it a mall.
Are you joking, or is this how you actually feel?
No, I'm dead serious.
You are very serious? You want all of Gaza to be gone?
Yes.
You want the 1 million kids in Gaza, the children, the babies, you want them to die?
All the children there will die. I don't care.
I feel like you're doing a big service with interviews like that because we live in a country where our mainstream media does not show interviews like that.
Yeah.
We get the smiling, friendly, I had to interview Mark Regev when I was at MSNBC, who's kind of the smooth-talking Australian Israeli. And you're getting the raw, unfiltered, we want to kill all the children.
Yeah.
And if I go on TV and say, Israeli soldiers want to kill all the children in Gaza, I will be told that I'm an anti-Semite, I'm spreading tropes, I'm demonizing the entire Israel. But you're interviewing just right up there, no filters.
Yeah. So I think our video, our work is similar in that sense, where we speak to Israeli soldiers and Israeli military. But the people you speak to are media trained. They're PR trained. But I do think at the end of the day, they are saying the same thing in a different font, in a different way, right? They're more kind about it with you. You clock it immediately, and you dig deeper, and you kind of get exactly what we saw right there at the end of the day. It's just a little harder to kind of get out of them.
Do any of these guys stay in touch with you afterwards?
I've been messaged directly by people on email and Instagram.
Anyone invited you out to Israel?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, but like they want a selfie with me, and then they'll kill me. I don't know. I'm good over that. I don't know.
Have you been to Palestine?
Oh yeah. I've been there more than a handful of times. Yeah.
Tell us a bit about your background, your family background.
Yeah, sure. So I was born in New Jersey.
The home of Palestine.
Literally Patterson, man. I wasn't born in Patterson, but like it's 20 minutes out from where I was born. But yeah, I was born in Jersey. I moved to Dubai at the age of 2 years old. I was there for 5 years. Moved to Abu Dhabi, right next to it, UAE, still for another 5 years. Oklahoma for 6 years, and then Houston, Texas for another 5. I'm putting all of this out to the internet. Wow.
Probably not wise.
Yeah, to 9
Just
million
avoid all the
Israelis.
frozen yogurt places in Houston, Texas, would be my advice. Is your family political? Did your parents, you mentioned your mother, talk to you about Palestine? Is that where this comes from at the age of
100%.
22, as you reminded us?
100%. Yeah. I mean, you seem a little triggered.
I mean, I'm fucking 46. So, yes.
Damn. I'm less than half.
Yeah, thanks. I can do the math. Thank you for that. Thanks.
That is crazy.
Thanks for
Wow.
yeah. Okay.
That's cool. How's life, man?
It's long.
It's long. Wow.
It's been a long life.
I wouldn't know.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. I'm starting to sympathize with the IDF. Don't give me any frozen yogurt right now. Your family, political,
yes.
mother,
So
father.
My mother has always, she's been the one that has sat us all down as children, my brothers and I, my older brother, my younger brother, and the middle child. And, she always draw the maps of Palestine and from stage 1 to where we are now and what has happened throughout history. And I was always the goofy child, and I wouldn't really listen. I only started listening after October 7th, to be honest, just so I can kind of get this more down. But it was really my mother and my older brother that kind of put everything out there and taught me everything. And obviously, you are such a huge inspiration to me as well, and not only to myself but to thousands of other creators. And you keep us going with the work that we do. I just want to throw it out there.
Thank you. That doesn't make up for the age jibe, but thank you.
I am trying to
I do
sugarcoat
appreciate it.
that.
That means a lot to me. I mean, look, this stuff. What you and I do in our own different ways, obviously, is quite hard to do, as we've discussed. It is a threatening climate, professionally, personally. It takes a toll.
Yeah.
And to go back to the age issue, I am 46. I have been
Age
dealing
is not
with the
an
toll.
issue. It's not an
No,
issue.
but seriously, I've spent 25 years dealing with this.
Yes.
How do you deal with it in the last 2 years? What kind of toll has it taken on a 22 when you were started this 21-year-old?
Yeah.
How have you dealt with the
Yeah.
emotional, mental toll of interviewing people who say they want to kill people like you?
So back when I first started doing content and kind of taking traction, I was doing gaming, and I was always confused on why God, Allah gave me this platform doing Fortnite videos, but I understood it after October 7th, and I kind of worked through the algorithms and trial and error up until that point. So I took what I knew, I took everything I knew, and I put it towards the content I know now. Sorry, I'm 22, so can you go ahead and repeat your question? Only 22.
You mentioned algorithms. On
Yeah.
Thursday, the TikTok USA spin-off became
Yeah.
official.
Yeah.
That means that Larry Ellison,
Oh,
who
yeah.
is the biggest single private funder of the Friends of IDF,
Yeah.
hardcore pro-Israel billionaire, and his son David Ellison, another pro-Israel billionaire.
Yeah.
They're part of a consortium with your old friends in the Emirates and others who are now.
No, I condemn
No,
the UAE.
I'm kidding, but
I know,
UAE,
but
the
we're not
UAE
kidding, though. That's the
Ellisons-
name
I know,
of
that's
the
problem.
podcast.
No, that's true. It is the name of the podcast.
I'm just joking.
I'm kidding. UAE and Ellison's and I think
Yeah.
one other financial group are now controlling 50% of the new US TikTok.
Yeah.
They have made it very clear why they're buying TikTok. And if we
Yeah.
had any doubt, Benjamin Netanyahu said it out loud
Yeah.
at the UN last year with a bunch of influencers. This is the big front of our war,
Yeah.
controlling TikTok. How worried are you about what's going to happen to you, your videos, your 7 million followers in an age of Ellison's TikTok?
Yeah, I'm not worried at all, to be honest, because I've built other platforms than just TikTok. You know, I have YouTube, Meta, and I mean, even though those are also censored in a way, I've done this content for over a decade now. I kind of can maneuver through the algorithms and bypass.
Have you been censored before? I saw
Yes.
one of the heads at TikTok. There was a video just doing the rounds over the weekend
Yeah.
of a guy speaking at an event. I can't remember who he was.
Yeah.
One of the senior officials at TikTok. And he said, if you say you're a proud Zionist on TikTok, that's fine. But if you use Zionist as a pejorative, as an insult to criticize someone,
Yeah.
we will censor that.
We made a change to designate the use of the term Zionist as a proxy for a protected attribute as hate speech. So if somebody were to use Zionist, of course you can use it in the sense of you're a proud Zionist, but if you're using it in the context of degrading somebody, calling somebody a Zionist as a dirty name, then that gets designated as hate speech to be moderated against.
I mean, they're very open about it.
Yeah, yeah,
Has that
yeah.
happened to you?
Yes, I've been censored plenty of times, not only on Instagram and YouTube, but also TikTok. Yes, they've taken down my account completely multiple times, but because I've had a following before October 7th, I have connections in TikTok, and I have pro-Palestinian employees in every social media platform that brings my account back. My Instagram was also taken down completely, but having connections is what helped. Back to your question earlier, that's how I maneuver through the algorithm, and even though I do face backlash, it's something that I faced since a kid. So I've kind of adapted into that, and I know how to take it now.
Have you faced anti-Palestinian abuse offline?
Oh, of course. In terms of my private life.
Yeah, or just growing up, as you mentioned.
Oh yeah. I mean, I went to high school and middle school in Oklahoma, so that is the whitest place on earth. So that's like you're definitely going to see some of that there, and I'll always be called a terrorist, not only for being Palestinian, but just being Muslim and Arab. You know what I mean? And I think as a Muslim, I often see people, the Israelis I speak to, they use that against me for being Muslim. Simply being Muslim, apparently I'm brainwashed, right? Is that something you experience as well?
All the time.
Yeah, just for being Muslim, you get accused of that. That's why you're pro-Palestinian.
And that's the agenda.
Exactly.
You're always being
right?
driven by some religious secret, creeping Sharia, taqiyya
right?
agenda.
Exactly. What is that?
Let me ask you this. You mentioned, you talked to these people and you said activism. Is your goal to change their minds or your audience's mind? And who do you think your audience is?
Yeah. So the goal with my interviews and the videos I make, similar to the goal of what you do, is to reach out to the audience. I'm speaking to the audience. I live stream these interactions, by the way. These are all live streams.
These are live,
yeah,
not edited.
I have like 10,000 people watching at once. So it's like raw footage people can go watch on my YouTube channel like completely. It's like the full footage, but I cut it down to like a minute for Instagram and TikTok, and I edit them differently per platform so they go viral on each platform.
Have people reached out to you and said,
yes,
thank you for doing this. I'd never seen this.
Yeah.
This has actually opened my eyes to something I wasn't
so
aware of.
so
Like
a lot of
non-Palestinians, non-Muslims.
Yes, I've had a lot of not a lot, but some Zionists in my messages as well that kind of look into my videos, and I'm kind of holding up a mirror to them when they watch my videos. That's not ultimately my goal, to get Zionists to. I mean, obviously that's nice, but it's very tough to do that because when you're in an echo chamber, it's really hard to do that. But in my videos, I'm really speaking to the people watching, people in the middle, people that are might be on the edge, might have not heard of Israel or Palestine. Even though my videos are kind of repetitive, when I start off, I'm from Palestine, you're from Israel. I started that way because I'm trying to reach new people every single day. And I'm not really trying to change their mind. You can't really do that. And that's part of the reason, part of the way that we both, I think, were able to do this is because we don't care about changing their mind. We don't get frustrated by
I think sometimes we get lost in that space of trying to change the minds of people whose minds we're not going to change, nor should we want to change in many ways.
Yeah.
I wrote a book about debating and persuasion. One of the things I say in that is that you're, thank you. There you go. People still read, even on TikTok. Read books.
Audible, actually.
Oh,
no, I'm just joking.
Actually,
I read it.
I narrate the audiobook, so it's very good. I would say that one thing I said in that book is it's very hard to change people's minds in general.
Yeah.
But when you're debating someone, we get lost with that person, trying to get through to that person. And that's not always the goal. The goal is the people watching at home, the people in the room, the persuadables, the people on the fence.
Yeah.
I think that's very important. I think TikTok allows you to do that, obviously, at scale. Like I do it to an audience of 700, you're doing it to 7 million people.
No, that's...
Since you're 22, as you've multiple times reminded us, where is Hamzah Saada in 10 years? What are you doing at 32?
I'm not sure. I've always wanted to be an actor, so I think getting into acting
Sundance is a good place to be.
Oh, yeah.
Someone here might spot you, cast you.
Yeah. Hit me up, guys, please. It's tough now, but I've been wanting to get into acting for years now, and I kind of put that on pause after October 7th to focus on this. But as far as I know, I'm going to be speaking about Palestine until my last breath,
Until Palestine is free.
Until we're free, inshallah. Yeah, which will happen, by the way. I mean, yeah.
And any plans once Palestine is free to go back to magic or music? You were a magician.
Oh, yeah. I still do that. It's just a hobby, really. But I have my cards with me. I can show you something afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to
I'll
it.
freak you out a little bit.
Yeah.
It's all sleight of hand.
I've got an idea for a show for you. Magic with Israelis.
I could do that. Yeah,
you make
Magic
the settlements
with Israelis
just disappear.
You know what I did do with my music? I integrated my music into my content.
Okay.
I kind of, they were just freaking out. I started playing music, calm down.
Oh, wow.
I started playing my qanun. So I played an instrument called the qanun. It has 70, 80 strings on it. It's like a harp on your lap. It's the brother of an oud, which is kind of the Arabic guitar.
Father of the guitar?
Yeah, and I've been playing it for 15 years now, and I use that. I'm only
Since you were
22.
Since you were 7. I did the math very quickly.
Quick
Since
math.
you were 7.
I love that.
One thing I'll never forget about you,
you were 31.
is your age.
You were 31.
I wish I was 31.
Yeah, you were when I started playing it. I was only 7.
You were 7 when I was 31.
Yeah.
Fuck. All right. On that note, let's go to the audience. We have about 10 minutes left to take some questions from the audience. Yes, should we go to the lady here in the second row?
Hello. Thank you both very much for the work that you both do. My question is around, we say free Palestine. We all very much believe in this ethos. Has anyone ever asked you what that means, and what do you tell them it means?
Yeah, a free Palestine is equal rights for all, including Palestinians. I mean, that's what we're all fighting for, right? Is human rights for Palestinians to be able to walk freely from Jerusalem to Gaza to Ramallah, right? That's what we want. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. I don't know why people take that as a genocidal statement. The only people that use that in a genocidal rhetoric was the Likud party.
In their platform, yes.
Exactly, right? So, yeah, I think it means what we mean by it, and there's we all mean the same thing: one state for all, equal rights for all, multi-religious, multi-ethnic state. Yeah.
Okay, well said. Nice, I like it. Quick question, quick answer. Let's keep going. We'll keep going to the lady here on the side.
Okay, assalamu alaikum. I know Mehdi and I know Hamzah, but I have a question for both of you. Since you both are in media, and my late husband was in media, he wanted my son to go into media, but my son said one thing to me: I don't want to get killed, and I don't want to die, I want to have a family. So what advice would you give to the younger generation that are going to school now?
It's a big question. It is depressing that people think now you can't run for office or be a public figure or be a journalist because you might get killed or because of the physical harm that comes to you. I would say three things in response to that. Number one, I'm not going to deny that that's the case right now. Unfortunately, we do live in a world where political violence is now rising, and it's used to intimidate and silence people. There's no doubt about that, and we have to take those threats seriously. It's sad that when we come to events like this, we have to have security. There was a time when we didn't have to have security, but that's the world we live in. Number two, I would say that, it's not just the people in public office who are at threat. I don't think you can escape from political violence. A nurse was murdered yesterday on the streets of the United States by quote-unquote law enforcement officials in mass. So it depends, if you want to take a stance for justice and truth, you're going to get targeted regardless, unfortunately. And therefore, I don't think kind of shying away from a particular career option is necessarily going to protect you. And the third point I'd make is, yes, we face threats in this country. Hamzah faces threats, I face threats, but they're nothing compared to the threats that Palestinians are facing on the ground. Over 200 Palestinian journalists murdered, 3 just last week. And they continue to be mass killed in a way that journalists have never been mass killed in modern history. And I think we should remind ourselves, yes, things are bad in the US right now, but they're not as bad as what's happening over there. And therefore, it is incumbent upon us to take those risks. Those of us who want to take those risks can take those risks to carry on speaking out.
Yeah.
We'll go to another audience member. Gentleman there with the glasses. Wait, do you want to stand up so I can see you?
Thank you for your courage. And also, please help me with my Instagram account. I'll hire you as an actor as well. I'm a director. What I want to know is,
Thank you.
I need both your advice for filmmakers and for people with any influence. What do you advise them to do in this climate, which is a climate of fear, especially if they are in the media? Because if you support Palestine, you are a target. So what are the effective ways you think people can make a change?
Do you want to go first?
Yeah. I think we've seen a huge difference within the past 2 years alone of people standing up for what's right and standing for the oppressed, right? Not only Palestine, but Sudan, Congo, and oppressed around the world. So I think the narrative is changing very, very slowly but surely. I think it's been a bit faster these past 2 years. I mean, we've seen hundreds of thousands of people march in the name of Palestine in Washington, D.C., in Jakarta, and Cape Town. I mean, around the world, millions of people are now speaking about Palestine. The people would ask me, where are you from? I would say Palestine years ago. They're like, Pakistan? No, not Pakistan. But, so it's now people know what Palestine is. And I think when we go in groups, that's where you can make a true change. If you're singled out, obviously it's going to be harder to make change. But if you are moving with a big group of people, for example, at a workplace, if you're the only one wearing a Free Palestine shirt, you're probably going to get fired. If you tell your coworkers to join you, you'll be good and they won't say a word.
I think that's a great point. I think allyship is so key, especially in our industries where we've been a minority for so long. That's why it's so great to be here at the Muslim House at Sundance, because it's all about allies, not just Muslim allies, but people who have similar goals, believe in human rights, believe in dignity and justice. Something I've tried to do over the years is build those alliances, even with people I don't agree with everything on, because when the shit hit the fan, I knew that those are people I could then call on for support. And when I went through my own issues since this genocide began and previously, I knew that I had allies. people who didn't agree with all of my politics, but knew that I wasn't a racist or an anti-Semite or an extremist, and called bullshit on the bad faith actors who were trying to smear me as those things. And I think, some people have criticized me in the past, including in the Palestinian activist community, for kind of, you're too mainstream and you're too much of a sellout and you're too this and that. And it's like, well, my position has always been, I want to go and build as big an audience as possible, reach as many people as possible, and take as many people with me as possible. I'm of the school of thought that if a tree falls in a wood and there's no one around to hear it, does it actually make a sound? And my whole media career has been based on making sound, making noise. And that requires having supporters, enablers, sponsors, protectors. And I think the same thing applies in Hollywood as it does here. And I talk to, even on this show, we talk to so many actors, comedians, Hollywood directors, people who, since October 7th, have said, look, I spoke out and I was surprised that people were there with me. And then there's people who say, you know what? And ultimately, even if there's no one with me, I'm still going to speak out. I interviewed Miss Rachel last year, who's been very open about the fact that if no one ever works with me again, I'm fine with that. This is a woman who has billions of people who know who she is, massive media empire, has even more people on social media following her than Hamzah does. And
I'm also 22, by the way.
She's not that much older than you. She's willing to give it all up for this issue, and she's not even Palestinian. So I do think, yes, we should be able to build up as many allies to protect us when the shit hits the fan, but also be willing to speak on our own if we have to, if that's where we come down to. Let's take two last questions from the audience.
Hi. Clearly, your work has just reached and impacted so many people. Is there a touching story that you have of someone who has reached out to you, like maybe someone from Gaza or someone's mind that you've changed, both of you? I'd love to hear, something positive, like a person or someone.
Okay, let's take that question as well, and we'll answer both of them, right?
Assalamu alaikum, my name is Hiba. I'm big fans of you both. We're also all 20 and locals from Salt Lake City, so we're so excited to be here. I'm Pakistani American, so you interviewing Imran Khan was insane. For Imran Khan, like you kind of talked about before, with so many things going on with ICE raiding our neighborhoods, our Somali American community, our Kurdish brothers and sisters, how do we keep these conversations of liberation going, and how do you think these liberations are kind of tied towards each other, and how do we lift all of us up without kind of forgetting each other in these conversations?
Do you want to take that one first?
Yeah, I think that's a beautiful question. I think as I mentioned earlier, I think moving in groups is the best thing we could do. Always having people by your side, a support system around you. I would not be able to do this without, for example, my family and my friends, right? That keep me going, keep me pushing forward. When I get the police knocking at my front door at 3 a.m., who keeps me going is my father, right? And my mother and my family, my brothers, they tell me to keep going. So I think just...
Why were the police at your door at 3 a.m.?
Oh, they were looking for like Hamas weapons or something.
At your house?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
I'm only 22, by the way. Anyways, so I think if you just keep yourself surrounded by supportive people, you will always, and by the way, we're just getting started. I mean, it's just been 2-3 years, and we're seeing now Mamdani run New York City, right? I mean, it's this generation that will make a true difference. You have people that are 22. That are going to be in 10 years, 20 years, taking over those people in power, right? And
20 years, you'll be in your 40s, and I will find you.
You won't be too. I'm moving fast.
I'll be in my 60s, and I'll be slow. Inshallah.
Inshallah.
I'm so glad you raised the different issues, because obviously, and not just a shameless plug for Zeteo, but like we try and cover as many issues as we can. Obviously, we're a small outfit, and there's a lot of shit happening in the world. To quote Steve Bannon, they have flooded the zone with shit. It's hard to keep track of everything that's going on, both domestic crises and foreign crises. But we do. I'm someone who's always been interested in foreign policy, foreign affairs, and we try and cover these issues. But the interconnectedness is so key. People say like woke has become a bad word, intersectionality is now a bad word. But clearly, these are issues that do connect. Whether they are issues of social justice at home or climate justice at home, and issues abroad of stopping imperialism and bombing and foreign wars, they are interconnected. And what's been so interesting is, the most cynical pro-Israel argument is the whataboutist argument, right? Why are you criticizing Israel? What about this? What about that? And it's so funny because that argument doesn't even work anymore. because the people they're attacking are standing up for all those other issues. Maybe there was a time when they didn't, but they, they say stuff like, "Where's Greta?" Like Greta's leading a boycott against the UAE. That's where Greta is.
Yeah.
So what are you doing about it? So I think the intersectionality is so key, and it's also a reminder that this isn't a petty, partisan, nationalistic, religious war. It is actually a struggle for equal rights, as Hamzah said earlier. Whether equal rights, whether it's in Sudan, whether it's in Yemen, whether it's in Israel, Palestine, whether it's here in the United States, it is simply, are we those people who stand up for people's human dignity, self-respect, human rights? Do we stand up against masked people gunning you down in the streets, whether that street is in Minneapolis or in Ramallah, right? And I think that is a key point for us all to remember. Do you want to deal with the question about end us with some hope,
of course,
some inspiration?
Yeah. So I have a lot of people from Gaza specifically that message me, that keep me going. Obviously, I have Zionists that watch my videos and message me that, I open their eyes and stuff. But what really helps me continue going and gives me hope for the future is seeing people from Gaza in my messages and saying thank you for speaking out and thank you for talking about us. When I see children, that are being brought for medical care from Gaza by many charity organizations, that also brings me a lot of hope. Meeting them, there's this beautiful kid in Houston where I live, 15 years old, de-limbed nearly all 4 limbs, and just such a beautiful, beautiful soul. You ask him how he's doing, alhamdulillah, and I think that it's just so beautiful seeing that, and when they watch videos like Mehdi's or myself, and they get hope from that. They get excited for the future when they see things like that. So I'm very hopeful for the future. You guys should be too. It's gonna be great, inshallah. We will see a free Palestine from the river to the sea.
On that hopeful note, we will wrap up. We are out of time. I do want to thank you all for coming today. It's been great to be here at Sundance, at the MPAC Muslim House. We thank them. We thank our generous sponsors, the Doris Duke Foundation. We thank all of you at Zeteo for watching. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. When you subscribe, you get editions of We're Not Kidding before everyone else without a paywall. So do subscribe to We're Not Kidding wherever you get your podcasts and to Zeteo. For now, from me, I'm Mehdi Hassan.
I'm Hamzah Saada.
And we were not kidding.
We were.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Did you like this video? Don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel and turn on notifications. For exclusive content and to support our independent, unfiltered journalism, head over to zeteo.com. Your support matters.